if we do our job, it's not only about meeting your initial needs, but it's doing it in a way that meets the way that you do business. So
you have an exit point or strategy for you guys at the end?
Here-
Well, how do you guys get out if we're making all this money and you help me get here? I wouldn't want the team to change.
well, no, but we're gonna be left as shareholders, so we're gonna be the
So you're protected the most because this mechanism's to protect you.
Well, we've got a public company, we're into it for about $250,000. I'm probably gonna have to put up another $1 million to
Make it right, to hit hard.
to basically do it in a classy way and do it, but I will easily, just so you know, and I'm just saying this,
Oh, okay, let me.
I
deal
will
with
make a
that
lot of money
tomorrow.
off
I'm in the
this.
US.
My investors and my people
I
will
already
make
know
a
that.
ton of money. So
Yeah, I'll deal with that, I'll deal with that.
when that happens, it's like, okay,
March 1st is
meeting the
Monday,
needs,
is it
getting the
March
deal up and running, I would like to have some
well, I know
functionality,
deals.
percentages are what you talked about, but if we come back and
Yeah,
say,
I need to
okay,
get that
guys,
around, but I'll take care of that.
you know,
for
this has
you.
gone well, the first phase is over, we got the
Give me
money
a
in the
call
bank,
either
we're building
tomorrow, give
things.
me a call Monday.
Okay, Kurt and company, if you and your guys wanna come back in and put another 2 million,
Okay,
we'll
buddy.
dilute a little more, give you a private
Okay.
placement, be tied up for a year.
We'll go through a
Something-
PPM on the second phase, you're thinking?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm okay
So,
with that.
you know, set aside the money, because I am a business person, I do think about dollars, is that where this will work for me is allow me to reactivate a bunch of my contacts that will be very impressed with the opportunity. So, I would like to reserve the right, if you ever do sell this one, to be, doesn't have to be on paper, but give me first right of refusal to set me up the second time. Much of the money I've made in different real businesses has been that way, right? So,
If John brought you to the table, we'll confer whatever he feels is right. I have no problem with that for the first roll. Why wouldn't I do my second phase and second roll?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You wanna stick with the same team.
I
you
would
worked
stick,
with
I
at
would
the
give you
beginning,
first right of refusal for that, no problem.
because if you were hiring me to have this meeting, and this is somewhat anti-productive.
Oh, I bet you tax the
self-acquisition.
shit out of it.
No, I would tell you that, you're actually meeting all the right chords, and you have so much here that you can focus on. Yes, there's news, but these are our ventures you can announce, start, and probably complete on. So you have more than what I've seen in the industry, so.
And how many people have you met with?
Well, we met the founder of CAN, and I have a lot of other of my people in LA.
We've actually turned down.
You've been in a lot of groups because some components you were able to
basically-
dismantle?
Well-
Were you able to dismantle, I want to ask, what's the key difference in what in those that you dismantle or see that's not, that you see here?
If I could
Question.
answer that, you know what, it's just the synergy, it's the energy, it's your creativity, there's no one-trick pony here. And a lot of people who approach us are like one-trick ponies.
They don't have exit strategies and aren't multifaceted.
They're not
to spin it.
multifaceted, right?
You know what they might be is, hey, everybody needs capital. If it wasn't for money, we wouldn't, we don't have many other skill sets other than that. So I
That's
understand.
a good one to
people-
have, just let you know.
I understand people need money, but many of the people I think that are getting in this industry up in Canada are really betting a lot of facts that aren't tangible, like I'm gonna have a license, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And if I was to meet their needs, I might, as an experienced business person, be stretched out on the timeline and I'd be a babysitting job. Many of these people, obviously with your background and you understand functional business and promoting and how to get an edge on competitors, a lot of these guys might be wonderful growers. They might actually get the license to have it in, but it's gonna be a lot of time and energy. And in fact, a couple of the guys, I had told them at the end of the meeting, I go, the reason we're gonna say no is because I don't think you understand the potential time bog it takes to run a public company. Do your filings, have the pressure of shareholders' expectations and all that, so.
Work ethic?
Yeah, they're just not built like you are. So, not to say, and I've already admitted here, I'm in kindergarten when it comes to analyzing strains or growing methods or whatever that.
That's our job, we got you on that part.
They might have all that together, but it's a whole different animal. You gotta be ready to take on success. So, what I know every fiber in my body you guys have is you're progressive and you're gonna go out and knock things down, and everybody that looks into you is not gonna go away and say, hey, I have the sense that they're here for short-term gratification.
That's what he said this morning, he said, I don't want to be considered an in and out guy, and if we have the option to get in and out, he said, I'm gonna stay in till the end, and I said, that's when we decided to back it with Green.
Yes.
We're not here for the short term, we're not
Well,
here
you
for
know
the
what,
term.
I just think that's a brilliant idea, I think it's absolutely.
Off the
brilliant.
go Kaplua, you flying with those notes, I'll convert them and give you the dough, cause it's in a coffer.
Oh, no, I love that, it makes a great news release.
And see, I just really think, so I step back from our personal positions from this and say, if I was a journalist that was really looking at the industry, maybe I've put out a couple of papers on it, but if I'm looking at doing it, because it is a major international story, is that when something like that comes up, along with the homeless and giving back for the humanitarian needs, is that, the sniff test really works here. So if we can get it done and move on, that's why the CANN is having so much success in the marketplace, is they're holding out not to get the gratification so, everybody can end up pulling out more cash. They are appearing to be and being received by the marketplace as being authentic and building out their model. Having said that, it's not as integrated as what you guys have. They are saying they got the answers and are tying up some portion of the demographic opportunities in the marketplace as a consultants, but I don't know how much of it is. I know they have an office and a presence in Colorado. I don't know how much they have, even though they were founded by people here in Washington.
No.
So, you know what?
And we're ahead of the way before it opens, so we learned from Colorado and a lot of their mistakes. That's the thing that I can say we have is, I got a chance to see the rollout and points of interest that could have put us at risk that I have minimized and already closed out because I see what they did, I know it not to.
Yes.
That was a huge rollout for me.
See, and you know where Tim comes from, because a couple of these things explained them when I stepped out of the room. If we could get ahead of your capital needs, like you guys are provided or be providing the use of proceeds, you have acquisition candidates, you'll be spending that money. If we go and provide a little more, I think and I think you'd be an easy guy to convince. Starting a forum, starting the yearly convention in Las Vegas, and being the chair of that, and then being able to direct traffic. I funded a guy who was from my hometown, who was it's a long story. He was the businessman that owned all the hotels and everything over there, and he was into bingo. He ended up starting the bingo convention. And anyways, he ran into some financial troubles. I funded him, and I made a quick $5 million, basically packaging him, and I only invested $410,000, packaging him and getting stuff done. But
Was
now,
it the leveraging and packaging and polishing of his model that profited, that he was unaware? He did 90% of the work and that 10% was the polish?
I just was at the right place.
Because I feel that's how I am at right now. Did 90% of the work. I need the polishing, the packaging, and your guys' help. That's where I'm at.
But this individual, as brilliant as he was, he ended up getting into some trouble, so the story doesn't end well. But he ended up, that convention's still on today, and I've been there with him. He's walking around, he's like the grand poobah of the whole area. And if he wasn't such a personal nightmare with bad habits, he had the world by its oyster because it's went electronic and there's, the other people that are doing other games. There was such an apparent
alternative revenue rolled out from his hub, correct?
And he had it too, but he just has bad personal, issues that get him into trouble.
But you mentioned, and to me that lit up right away, is you said that if that vapor convention had been cannabis vapor.
Geez, whenever you walk in here, I think the police are walking in here, with your badge on, you know what I mean? It's the second time you guys have come in, I'm going, give me the handcuffs, man, what did I do? I just ordered something.
Yeah, I got the steps, and you guys sit up and you vet these e-cig giants that have these cartridges and nicotine and want to produce them for us and are willing to put up 2-3 million and come and produce our cartridges.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's huge, and we haven't even contacted them yet. I mean, they're trying to blow us up. We knew our value when we went to that vape convention.
Okay.
That's when I really realized I have it. I don't care what no one says. I know I got it.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe no cannabis company or anybody went to that vape convention that wasn't nicotine.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a huge.
I loved it. I
Well, I had massive opportunity.
Yeah.
And we
Absolutely
collected
massive.
it all, and we filmed it, the ones that we're targeting. And we have all the information, they're ready to go. We have all the direct stuff, we don't have to go through.
There's so much, John, there's so much marketing out there right now on this e-cig crap, right?
But we have the masters
But-
and the
but-
people from China
You
that are
have
important.
you have a niche that can be marketed.
Well, absolutely.
That is
You
just.
have that bag at home with all the stuff I gave you from the vape convention, right, with all the cards and all the stuff.
Jesus.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so John.
I got it. Recap.
Okay, you're gonna respond to the,
Mr. Director?
to Ashley's questions, because you guys got the 3 things, right?
Yep.
So you're gonna respond to her question, give her as much data as you possibly can, counter with her, and then basically give her your telephone number and switch telephone numbers so you can work together, right?
Okay.
Thank you.
And then Bob's CTO advisory board.
I'll eat that.
On this homeless video we wanna do,
Okay?
right?
Yep.
When do you wanna get started on that?
I want to do that the day that we release and go about, we're going public, that already we're giving back, we haven't even made a dollar yet.
So basically what we're doing is we're looking at doing that next week,
Yep.
something like that.
You logistically, I'll leave it up to you guys. Part of the rollout, I think it's a real benefit. In terms of timing and priorities, we'll sync them up. What I'd like to do is maybe so everybody can have a groundwork, just on my expectations for me to do my role,
Right.
is I'll outlay a few things. It'll parlay in with the filings the companies are doing, the name change, all the rest of that, and as long as we can achieve putting these packages together, I can have them done in a complete form, and then have 2 weeks to distribute them before I go to contract with some of these people. I'm all good. I don't really need much.
I think
more.
having his son as
Oh, that's awesome.
you know what, paying your son to do the
Yeah,
videos,
totally.
Right.
I'd gladly do that.
because you know what, it saves sending a team down to you.
Well, we have all the stuff, we do it
Oh,
ourselves.
that's exactly right, so
Like,
you
we
do it all
can,
yourself.
we can shoot it. There's gonna be some
Exactly.
things that we do need that I'm gonna tell you right away. I'm gonna need a MacBook Pro, and I'm gonna need the external drives. I'm gonna need some tools and some software so that I have it dedicated to
Fred,
just
why
this
are you the money
project.
to give me
What
the
what
tools
you
to
do is
it?
you send up the list of what you need.
Well, hold
Well,
on.
I think it'd be-
Now, my son does that. He's got
Does
all
he?
the cameras.
Everybody that's
Stuff.
part of
He's
it,
got
I
the
wanna
MacBook.
use family.
Yeah.
I'd love to have them come down and be part of it. We
Why
do it
don't,
all
why don't we
together.
have this,
Just
why
send
don't we just say this, your son
It works with
and
ours.
your son
Knock it out.
work together and knock out the video.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that?
Yeah, no, he
There-
makes them really good.
I love
Yeah.
keeping it in the family.
Yeah, there is on this other business that we own this health care, it's an elite training facility. One of our other partners, his
What,
son-
athletes?
Yeah, this is for the triathlon place called Catalyst Kinetics. We'll send you a website. One of our introductions to it was done by him. And he edited the music and he did a great job. Now, I wouldn't call it a 98 out of 100, it's probably a 95, but it is really, it sets the tone, it tells a story. And what I wanna do is have corporate videos, but then also information that's of grade like a YouTube channel. So when one of our shareholders comes on and says, you know, I really want someone to explain this specific portion of the business plan to me, they actually can refer and go on and listen
A
to some of these catalogs.
volumized channel
Yeah.
where you can take every aspect of our company and go review it 24/7.
See, with that tool alone, I'm gonna have so many people blogging on this that are gonna be going probably, and I don't know if I'll get this predatory, but going to our competitors that already have the 10,000 to 20,000 shareholders and basically
Collapsing them into us.
letting them know that there's a new player.
There's a new video on the block and we
Go have a look at this pedigree.
Let me show you the video quality that we do.
It would be okay if I just excuse myself for 2 minutes, I'd have to make one quick
Yeah, you
phone
go
call. I missed a.
But